welcome back to the Triplefour podcast. Different kind of vibe here. We're all in the same room. Remember that? Remember being in the same rooms?
No.
Together?
No. Weird.
That's because I've never physically met you guys until now. We were all just Zoom friends until now. And, you know, we can all be in the same room again because, as we all know, COVID is over.
We have beat it.
We won. So congrats on everybody. Congrats to everybody for doing that, for beating COVID. It was a rough couple of months. Everybody was saying a year, wait till fall, we'll see. You know, we'll see what's going on, but no. It's like 3 months. We're all good, 100% clean in America, as we all know.
We all beat it up.
Yeah, it's just,
easy.
That's not even a thing anymore.
Yeah.
No one's ever going to get it again.
Man, we did really good.
We
did really good.
Really
It's a
went
little
above and
man.
beyond.
pat on the back
Yeah.
for that one.
Do that, America.
Oh, man, it's great.
Triplefour.
Let's talk about it. Okay,
Triplefour
podcast.
Yeah, he said this dude makes a meatwad fucking thing for no reason, and then he says Jim Norton.
Bob Dylan I find personally obnoxious, but the Beatles destroyed culture.
Oh my god.
I got Elon Musk to smoke weed in my Tesla the other day. That's not even a big fucking deal.
Things are crazy right now. You don't know shit, do you?
We really did.
We really didn't.
You know, you can't always get what you want, but you'll find sometimes that if you try,
You just might get it.
Oh, you get it!
Well, welcome back to the podcast where everybody's in the same room. Big announcement, big news today, big thoughts, big things. What are you doing?
it's a little victory. We did it. Not only did we win, but we finished.
That's two things.
I haven't even said what's happened yet.
Okay. I'm excited.
Welcome to the podcast.
I'm not allowed to be excited.
Welcome to the podcast. Nobody said anything yet. Not No.
Premature victory there.
Seriously, folks, though. Stay home. Wear masks. Don't talk to anybody. No. Darkness on the Edge of Town, the film, is complete. Coming soon. Amazon, YouTube, all that good stuff. You're going to be able to watch the film. Quite a ride. I did the math. It's like 613 days, I think. I put the text up in the behind the scenes thing that I showed you. If you recall that.
It's honestly impressive. Besides any of the bands that I've done, it is the single longest creative endeavor I have ever been a part of in my life. And it really was it was a ride.
And as we all know, the longer something takes to make, the better it is.
It's great.
What shouldn't be misunderstood is it wasn't like it took a long time because it had to necessarily.
Yeah.
It was just because there were so many roadblocks. 20-ish months, end of September 2018 to like 2 weeks ago is probably when we shot the last scene now. First few days of June, which is probably the thing that took us the longest, trying to acquire this location. And that's why I got so hype on trying to promote and show people. And I made that trailer in October of last year thinking we were about to shoot that scene, and then kept getting shafted by the guy who was supposed to help us get the location. Unfortunate. But then, you know, there was a ray of light and we were ready to shoot. And then a deadly pandemic hit and everybody had to stay home for 2 months. So again, could not continue production. So, you know, that's Hollywood, baby. But very excited for everybody to see it. A lot of people in the film, scenes that were shot like a year and a half ago.
People probably don't even remember they're in the movie.
Right. There's a lot of that. What else to say? I mean, there's a special celebrity talent involved.
Really spectacular.
Really crazy stuff. There's Josh is in it. So all the Josh heads, fans of the podcast, who are just in it for Josh. I like to imagine that our listeners, they have like their favorites. You know, like when NSYNC and Backstreet Boys were popular, and they were like, I like Lance Bass the most. I like
People
Josh.
Like me the most. People like me the most.
Is Josh the Lance Bass of the 444 podcast?
Comment.
Leave a comment. Subscribe.
Please.
But yeah, gear up for the release of that film. Got a lot of plans for things involving that, as well as new projects on the way. So that's pretty cool.
Fucking great.
Fucking great.
You ever been on the Jurassic Park ride in Universal Studios?
I think he did want you to respond to that, but only you. He was like, that guy right there, I hope he yells. It's fucking great.
It's great.
Tune in to Is This a Dad Bit? Wait, no, is this a bad bit
This
or
is a
dad?
bad pit or dad pit.
Yeah. I think that was the episode where we talked about doing stand-up.
Stand-up and the Aquabats. That was after, we went to the open mic. Was that at the open mic that we went up, or was that at the one we went to observe?
I think that was the one that we performed at.
Yeah, I remember.
So
it was a guy before you guys.
All right.
Yeah. The guy who was talking about how he had a terminal disease, and that's why he went on the Jurassic Park ride.
Like, because he got, what was it? Something along the lines
It was,
of, like,
he had a heart
Make-A-Wish?
condition, and he was dying. He was diagnosed, and the fucking Make-A-Wish Foundation
so
contacted him, and they said, "What's your wish?" And he said, "I want to go to Jurassic Park." And we're like, okay, well, that's not going to happen, clearly, but what we can do is we can send you to Disney World and Universal Studios, where they have the Jurassic Park portion of the park. And then the whole bit was that when he got there, he couldn't go on any of the rides because he had a heart condition.
They thought that one through.
But his mom let him go on the Jurassic Park ride.
And he
But-
died
okay,
on
but
there.
if you are dying from a heart condition, and you're not supposed to ride rides for people that have heart conditions or whatever, wouldn't it just be okay? Like, I'm gonna die anyway. So.
True, you might as well die having fun.
If he died on the ride, that would be kind of, I respect it.
Yeah, like you're doing your last wish or whatever.
In fact, you
like-
should get a medal
On
to
your
be
body.
bestowed on your corpse.
Yeah.
They take it out after they bury you.
Yeah,
but,
obviously. And you get buried with a copy of Jurassic Park.
Yes.
Laid
4K
on
Blu-ray.
buried
Yeah.
under the ride.
The
No, it's got to be VHS.
It's gotta be
a
Laserdisc.
93 VHS.
It's gotta be a laser disc.
Well,
The biggest
put
one.
both in there. We don't know what kind of technology they have in heaven or hell or wherever you're going. Maybe you're going to hell.
Purgatory?
Heart disease, hell.
Premature death,
Hell.
hell. Believe it or not, hell. Crazy. Have you ever, as far as theme parks go and theme park rides, I feel like I've only been to, well, Six Flags St. Louis, obviously. But when I was a kid, I went to one in Indiana, in a town called Santa Claus, Indiana. That's real.
No.
That's real. It's not
Is
a bit.
it Christmas themed?
The town is.
Okay, great.
That's fucking creepy.
The town is Christmas themed. The place is called Holiday World. Or maybe it's Holiday Land.
Holiday Inn?
Just
Yeah.
one
Oh
big
wait.
hotel.
I'm
One
just
big
remembering
retreat
going.
at Holiday
I was just
Inn.
remember staying at a hotel in Indiana once. Holiday World or Land. Not. I mean, kind of Christmas themed, but also not. I went there in the summer, so I don't remember very well either. But they had like 3 roller coasters and then all of the like shitty rides that nobody cares about, like the Scrambler and shit. Like.
I saw there was I saw a shop in Florida one time. Not when we went to Orlando and Universal, but just something you would see in Florida. A Christmas and knife outlet. It was like a Christmas themed knife outlet shop where you could buy like Christmas stuff and knives.
So you like stab Santa as soon as he comes into your house?
Or is is Santa the handle on the knives?
Do you throw like, if the elves come, you just...
Touch my fucking cookies, dude.
Knife sets. Just buy one.
Christmas themed knife sets. You ever watch The Knife Show? Maybe just a thing of the past. I don't know. Maybe you've seen this clip of it's a famous YouTube clip of a guy on like a shopping channel TV program. You know, the prices on the side of the screen, that whole thing. And he's got a sword, and he's like, "Look how sturdy this thing is!" And he like bangs it on the table. It breaks in half, and then the blade like flips back and like stabs him. And then he like falls over, and he says, "We need emergency surgery in the studio."
1101 1816 is the item number on this one. And the nice thing about these practice katanas, oh, that hurt. Oh, that hurt big time. A piece of that the tip just got me, Odell. Oh, that got me good.
You all right?
A piece of that tip just got me. Oh,
Folks, right now, we may need emergency surgery in the studio.
Yeah, all right.
It's like a fucking samurai sword, and he just...
Yeah.
And yeah, it breaks and like goes in him.
This thing is 30.
So that's from a program called The Knife Show. And I remember my brother introduced me to this like a decade ago when it was still on TV. This guy named Tom Odell runs it out of his basement. He has all these knives, and he shows them off, and you can order them. And it's only on from like 2 a.m. to 7.
The time that you want to buy a knife.
Right.
Yeah, this is definitely the thing, like the show you wake up to when you're like half asleep, and it's like a fever dream, and the guy's talking about like a knife set.
Listen, I
and you go
can't
right
sleep
back.
because I can't stop thinking about knives, okay? And I need one now.
I need a buck knife with a hardwood handle.
The majority of the knife show is, now this here is a really nice knife. You're going to love this. Your wife is going to love it. If you want to get it for Mother's Day, check it out. 28 payments of $19.99 for this set. And it like sometimes he's showing off like 100 knives at a time. And he's like, you can get all of these for the low price of $999.99. And it's just like...
You can't order it now. These are limited to only 1,200 in the world. An incredible blade. Well, this is one of our hottest items ever. At our lowest price tag we have ever offered it to the general public.
I've never seen these at that price before, ever.
Because this next one, it just keeps getting better.
98 cents a knife.
Nowhere near a buck a knife. Folks, it's like giving this knife away.
Who wants to buy 100 knives in bulk? Like, it's one thing to buy a knife. Sure, we all need a knife here and there. But 100 of these things. And there were a couple particular models that I'll always remember. There was one which was the Kiss My Bass, was the name of the knife.
Oh, I would have bought that.
It was like this long. It was a pull-out knife, not a switchblade, but like, you know, like when you just pull it out like that.
Okay, yeah.
But it was this long. So it was like a small sword. And it said Kiss My Bass on it, and there was a picture of a bass. Scarge, pull up the Kiss My Bass. Kiss My Bass was like $30. We considered buying it. It's like, because it was so funny. I was like, it's like a 14-inch knife, aka small dagger, and we almost bought it. There was also the Delta Ranger.
I say 14 inches, that's basically a sword.
I know, but it was marketed as a knife.
Legal definition.
Is it bigger than
between
okay.
a knife?
Here's my knife, right? This exact same kind of deal, but like this big.
Yeah. So at what point is it no longer a knife? Is
Or
it a
a
length
dagger.
thing or?
Well, how
Is it
long does
just-
a dagger have to be, too? Like, this is...
I don't know that it has to do with
Look, forget the coronavirus vaccine. This is the kind of questions we
We're starting a
Yeah.
knife podcast, all right?
All right. Sad to say, this is the end of the 444 podcast. Welcome to the Knife Show tribute show. The Knife Show show.
You asked who
Okay, the difference.
who would buy 100 knives. People that can't sleep. Okay, if you can't sleep, you know what helps. 100 knives.
If it comes in a briefcase and you open up the briefcase and it like has it expands and then all different knives are there, that'd be kind of interesting.
Murderers who need to like get rid of their weapon after they're done.
Yeah.
frequently.
Yeah, like 100 different times.
Yeah.
All those different people out there who have killed 100 people.
If you're throwing them, you know, you don't want to walk and get the knife every time. You just
Screw it, I'm done.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So the difference here, a knife
just
is only like one. It's only bladed on one side, and a dagger is on both. And then a sword is meant for like slashing things, and a dagger is only meant to like stab things. So.
Okay.
Those are just purposes. You can do any of those things with the other
No, but
ones.
it's
So a
designed
dagger
to
is
do
a
that.
double-edged knife.
Yes.
So if you had a
when
switchblade,
built.
Yeah.
if you had a switchblade, then that can be kind of considered a sword, or yeah, like a sword, because it has both sides are sharpened.
Well, dagger.
I guess.
But no,
Dagger.
because the dagger is meant for poking. Because that one you can still slash. With
See, but this is
You
you
can
can
still
poke with
slash.
this though.
You could still slash
You
with
poke
a
with a lot
dagger,
of
but it's
things.
not designed to
Why?
do that, I guess. Is the
My
Well,
point
switchblades
exactly.
Sharpen a two slash more easily, I think, than that dagger would. I would think.
'Cause I literally don't want to talk about anything else on this podcast. Can we just talk about knives for the rest of the time?
All right, somebody put their hand right here.
I'll do it.
If it gives me a stimmy check, I will.
Update on that for the listeners. Still have not got my stimulus check. I was bamboozled. I was slandered, libeled, all of those things.
Just call up
Who's
Donnie and
who
see what-
slandered
His
me?
personal
what's
cell
going
phone.
on.
Call up his personal
Yeah.
cell phone.
The government sent you.
Hey,
a-
Don, yeah.
Look,
I'm gonna need that money.
I'm
Only
gonna
gets to get
need
his check.
months.
The government sent him a blank envelope, and then when he opened it, it was just a letter that said "fuck you."
Pretty much.
No money.
No money.
wrong.
You actually do get your stimulus
Wrong.
check, but it's for $0.
I did my taxes. I got my tax return, everything. What the hell's going on? As far as I'm concerned, this is strike one for Donald. He's done nothing else wrong until now, but
Otherwise, he was pretty cool.
otherwise very cool.
Pretty on point.
In fact, the whole concept of giving me free money, I mean, awesome. But then he didn't do it. Maybe he might be a liar. Crazy.
Definitely never done that before, so.
Definitely weird times.
Things are normal right now.
You know what? They are.
Oh, I guess I'm wrong. Golly.
Golly.
No respect. I live alone. I work at Five Guys. You guys know Five Guys?
Oh, no.
I live by myself.
You know what a kiss my bass is? I got 3 of those.
I got 4 on my wall.
Oh, my God.
Mantled.
Yeesh. All right. I think we need to take a second for songs. This is the music segment. Second for songs. Second for songs. We're gonna talk about some albums. Second for songs. Second for songs. Josh. Go.
I listened to Can.
This has been
That's
Second
it.
for Songs.
Thank you. Yeah.
Can, cool band. German band fronted by Damo Tsuki. Japanese name, German band.
Yeah, are they not actually like German though? Are they actually German? Because I know they base themselves in Germany.
That I don't know.
Because it's like DAF, you know. Because the lead guy there isn't German, but they were German based. He was raised in Germany.
I don't know anything about DAF either. DAF?
Yeah.
Yeah. Except for when they became DAF.
I knew it. And,
Can's cool. Future Days is a super good album. Tago Mago is the one that usually is like the like super classic like super long album, but if you listen to it, it is pretty intimidating.
Yeah.
It's really long, a lot of just jamming, you know.
I got a lot of good bass lines.
Can?
Yes.
Yeah, because what was it? AGE Bamyasi is like their most like one of my famous ones because it has Vitamin C on there.
Right.
Yeah, and then I listened to that and I listened to like Monsters version, I think it's called, because that's like their '69 album. That was like their first one that was their first like LP.
It's a cool album cover.
Yeah, no,
The Monster
really,
movie.
it's futuristic for how kind of like older it is, but maybe it's just that Japanese kind of influence.
And then they kind of got like kind of reggae, like world music by the end.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of like.
Well, in the late '70s, it kind of got more like almost disco-esque, and then to me at least, and then '80s they kind of went different, even more different.
Reggae, that's in Maddie's vocab.
Thank you for acknowledging me in my race.
I listened to the Run the Jewels 4 today.
It's so good.
Okay.
It was
It's
pretty
so
good.
good.
Yeah. I like it more than 3, I think.
I do. I definitely do.
I mean, I haven't listened to much of Run the Jewels, so I guess a new album I can listen to.
What's the line by 2 Chainz in there? They got a song with 2 Chainz, and 2 Chainz says, "I'll buy a hot dog stand if I'm trying to be frank."
Oh yeah.
It's a good one.
That made me alone not listen to the album. I'm
Fucking
done.
2 Chainz, dude. Titty boy.
He should get.
It's like Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne kind of line.
We don't talk about him anymore.
Oh, okay. He was on The Masked Singer.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Only because it was on TV at my job, and when I get bored, it's there. And I was like, "There's Lil Wayne. He's on The Masked Singer."
Lauren actively watches it, and therefore I actively watch it. It's bad. It's a really bad show.
It's fucking
It's like
awful.
really terrible, but
Who's the singer gonna be?
Who knows?
That's the cliffhanger.
Guess what? It's someone famous.
it's also all filmed in one night. Like they filmed the whole thing in one sitting.
Yeah.
No.
That's how they do all those shows. American Idol.
I was gonna say that's like a.
The Voice.
Well, no one told me. I don't know.
Well, maybe you should get a friend in film production.
I don't have one of those.
How can we find someone that is in film production?
First of all,
Where do you even look?
I don't know what that is, but did you guys see this?
Yeah, that's
Huh,
a little.
now that-
That's what I put
Now
on,
that,
dude.
okay.
Right there. Maddie, why don't you give us your opinion on that real quick?
Good opinion. All right.
Played by the Girlwatchers.
Music to watch girls.
They
I'm
had-
thrown off by the preposition. By.
Well, like music to
Like.
garden by.
Standing next to girls
Yeah, whenever you do this, you have to listen to this album.
to
Yeah, when you're-
watch music. Also, how frequently
No.
you.
Music to watch girls by. Not music to watch girls by.
The phrasing is odd, okay? That's my point.
It's music to watch girls buy transparent dresses, fishnet stockings, pretty petty pants, nude lipstick, tight tights, funny fun coat, tiny mini
Oh,
skirt,
man.
paper clothing,
Oh,
a doctor's office,
Fully naked.
and green eyeliner.
this is Steven Seagal's
Specifically.
favorite
Yeah.
album.
They didn't get blue eyeliner in here, unfortunately. It's one of their better songs, but that's fine. Yeah, they look like they watch a lot of girls. And he looks at you with this face.
Chuck Berry on there?
Oh, man.
Face.
Uh-huh.
That man's really enjoying it.
When, what's the year on that?
Watching
2012.
girls here. Yeah. 2020.
2018.
I don't know, I'm not seeing a date. But it's
Be
2020.
a copyright thing on there somewhere.
You know,
Didn't scream
wherever.
at me,
Usually.
okay?
Oh, it's all different artists.
Yeah, I think I saw...
There's a song called
Oh, never mind.
Cycle Annie by The Beach Nuts.
Wow. I never heard of him.
Close Your Eyes by Lou Christie. Yeesh.
It was different.
Different time.
It was different.
There
Yeah,
was
there's
a
no
time
year
when
on it.
women weren't people.
Yeah.
There's no year
Oh,
on it.
man.
I see.
I can read.
Can you read with the glasses?
We just confirmed it. Maddie can read. Well done.
Got our top scientist.
Very well done.
Thank you.
So I guess it's the Girlwatchers playing these songs as covers? I don't know.
Or is it
Where
the...
did you get this?
There's a whole bunch of records here, I guess, from that I've inherited, and I was just looking through some of them, and I found that, and I was like, that's incredibly strange. So, you know, there it is.
It's just what
That's
you listen
Joe.
to, yeah.
That is,
oh my god,
that is Joe, dude.
I was
Hold
looking
on.
at it earlier and I was like, what the hell?
I'm gonna get a close up on that.
Look,
that out.
Joey's in there.
Anyway, I'll find the
Crazy
image.
that Joe
So-
watches girls.
Here's the new question. Is Joe a time traveler?
Clearly. He is a robot.
Yeah, with that, yes.
And why did he participate in the girl watching craze of the late 50s, early 60s? That's kind of what that looks like.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway.
You didn't have to do that.
I'll do it again if I have to. But I won't, because I don't have to. But, you know, maybe we'll play a selection from that in the podcast if I can find a little recording of it. You know?
See, now it could be interpreted as music to watch, like the show Girls.
Oh, music to watch with girls.
Yeah.
The show.
Yeah.
They didn't
Yeah.
think about that, but they kind of did something crazy.
Songs to hear on Girls, the show with Lena Dunham.
Maybe
Like
it was a typo.
soundtrack.
Maybe it was supposed to be music to watch girls. Bye.
BYE
They need a
by.
comma in there.
They said bye to
Yeah,
you.
the lack of punctuation is really what's fucking me up because, I mean, I guess the image is what.
I mean, this lad right here, the one with the
This
glasses,
He is
lad.
really looking.
he's really searching for something.
He's the professional watcher.
Yeah, I've been on a real Sonic Youth kick myself.
Okay.
Listened to like every album multiple times because they're a hard band to just like sit down, play the album, and be like, I got it, I get it now.
Okay, you
Like,
remember this one? Who's the most famous female bassist of all time?
I don't even know a single female.
No one
bassist.
ever gets this.
I don't know the name of a single bassist on this planet.
She's in Sonic Youth.
That was
Great.
the tip off because the question seemed
It's-
to come up really coincidentally.
Sorry, it's Kim Deal. Kim Deal.
Kim Gordon is in Sonic
Fuck,
Youth.
shit.
Kim Deal is in the Pixies.
Oh my god, you didn't
Wait,
even know.
did I just fuck that up for real?
This dude's having a panic attack
Oh
already.
no!
He had this whole
I know, he had the whole
fucking,
bit.
like game show host s bit.
Imagine him reading the card.
Wait.
Hold on, I think I have messed up.
And then I think eventually Kim Gordon played on some Pixies records or something like that.
There is a woman bassist on the Pixies, I do know that.
Yeah. Well, Kim Deal was in the Pixies and I think the Breeders. But Kim Gordon is Sonic Youth. Kim
Okay.
Gordon and Thurston Moore, who were married for like 30 years until, yeesh, little extramarital. Whoa, weird.
Something weird happened.
And now they'll never be a band anymore. 'Cause
Yeah, you're gonna have to strike that one from the record because
it's gonna be left
all
in.
in,
It's
all in,
all left. We're all
all
left it
in.
in. What are we gonna do? Cut? There's video now.
you can't see me.
Where you literally have
see me,
a
you
frame.
can't see me.
We have a frame by frame look of
Yeah.
you getting your brain destroyed.
Getting your ass beat.
Yeah,
Or some
yeah.
Kim bass player's name
Fuck.
Kim thing.
Okay, but I was right about one part.
Bet there's a bass player named Kim who's really famous in Sonic Youth. Can you double check for me if Kim Deal was in the Pixies and the Breeders?
I know she was in the Pixies. I know that for a fact.
Well, maybe. If she might be another band.
we really lost confidence.
Music groups.
Music group.
She was in the Pixies, the Breeders, and the Amps.
The Amps.
I have not
Never heard
of
the
that at all.
Amps.
Yeah.
Music to play songs by. I don't know.
Music
Music
to watch boys by.
That should be your first album.
Okay. I've been thinking of an album name, and that works.
Music to watch boys by. It would be really funny. And then the picture should just be that, except for the opposite. And it's like four dudes like talking to each other, and you're just like off in the corner like.
I've got binoculars.
Yeah.
Yeah, be really close with binoculars.
Also, you got to get Joe to dress up like that for the picture.
Everyone else is in normal streetwear while Joe is literally in full tux and yeah, just dressed just like that.
So yeah, Daydream Nation by Sonic Youth. Iconic. Check it out if you haven't already. But I also really like Experimental Jet Set. That's another good one. And today I listened to Rather Ripped from 2006.
Does it rip?
It was ripped pretty hard. Okay. Yeah, it was rather ripped. You might say. Oh, yeah. So check that out.
I've been dabbling in Beach House. It's the new thing that's happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Space Song.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I knew Space Song. Okay, so I had been shown that. And then I just kind of pick out albums that look cool on Spotify, and I picked out one, and I did not realize it was the same people.
Was it the one with? Is it called Bloom with the black and the?
It's black
white,
and white. Yeah.
Well, they have a couple that it might be black and white, but there's one that's like black. It's like a rose of lights, kind of.
This one's like.
There's one called Zebra. There's a black and white photo one with like two girls on it or something. But when you said, have you heard Space Song? That's such a like at a corner bar.
7.
Okay, I don't know that one.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Bloom.
That one.
That's a cool cover.
Yeah.
They have cool. I mean, they have cool covers. I think. Yeah.
Yeah. No one told me. I didn't put 2 and 2 together.
Go back and listen to Bloom though, because that's a good album. Right. Song Lazuli. Oh my God! I'm just trying to recommend an album, and you're getting all offended. God.
Just because
PC culture ruins comedy yet again, dude.
Because it's Space Song. This guy said that.
You should check out Space Song. That's the indie mansplaining over a PBR at the corner bar. Yeah, you ever heard of this band Beach House? Yeah, actually, no. You should check out Space Song. It's very cool. It's very hip. It's cool. They got 2001 clips in it in the music video.
He's definitely the man that's like at the bar and he like turns around after hearing it. Hey, Space Song.
Is that Space Song?
That Space Song.
Hey,
listen to Space Song.
Anyway, so just started brewing my own beer.
Yeah. IPA.
IPAs only.
Oh, no.
You remember when we were at a party at St. Patrick's Day like 3 years ago, and there was a guy who brewed his own IPAs?
Yeah, that's the guy.
I remember him, coming up to it because I was there. I think it was.
You were there.
I wasn't sure if that was the year I skipped or not.
That was like the first Pats.
Yeah, that was the first Pats.
No, there's a picture from that night, from that party, where I have pool cue chalk all over my hands, and you're in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also a picture of Lauren literally deceased on the floor.
This is classic St. Pat's traditions. Lauren just fucking slumped. The bathroom bomber. Yeesh. Lauren, if you're listening, sorry. Because we made fun of you.
I'm not sorry. So.
Cool. You should check out Space Song sometime. But, yeah. Beach House. Confusing. Because there's also Beach Fossils.
Yeah.
Dirty Beaches.
Beach Boys.
Well, yeah. That has the name Beach in it. But there's like a whole bunch of bands that had like Beach in the name that came out in like 2012 that like all did the same music. Like Beach Fossils.
What was going on in 2012?
Music to Watch Girls by Beach House.
Just released.
Beach Fossils. Real Estate. They kind of played similar
Real
music.
Estate, yeah.
Washed Out. It's all in there. Check it out. Go on Pitchfork sometime. You'll figure it out. Space Song.
Just because you brought up the whole thing about Can and being a German band with the Japanese guy, we were actually just listening to this in the car. I think you're familiar. I'm pretty sure I've shown you them before. Daikaiju.
Mm-hmm.
They are originally from Alabama. All their themes are Japanese, and they make surf rock, like surf punk, rockabilly. It's this really strange mixture of themes, but they now, well, I guess not right now because fucking shows are canceled, but the last time that I saw them, every single one of the members was from a different state. So they were just touring constantly because that's the only way that they could successfully be a band. So they're essentially homeless, just touring all the time.
That's their opening line. We're essentially homeless.
Top 3 fucking craziest shows I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. They have their own brand of lighter fluid. And when they play...
Great investment.
So I saw them at the Sinkhole. Shout out Sinkhole. They start at when I saw them, they start at the back of the room, and they have these Japanese masks on too. You don't ever really see their faces unless they're not playing or whatever. But when they play they don't say that they play shows. They say they attack venues, because a daikaiju is, if you know this, it's like a Godzilla monster. It's like a giant monster.
Kaiju, yeah.
Destroys
Kaiju
cities.
monster.
Yeah.
And
so when they play shows, they say that they attack venues. They're like, we attack the Sinkhole tonight.
Okay.
And
then they literally
they
it was a lot of
fucking
damage.
dude, they do it. They do it. They start, when I saw them, they started at the back of the room, and they just continually advance forward with all their equipment, pushing the amps up and moving the drum set forward until they get to the front of the venue. Then they do a couple things. They had us all sit down. The fucking guitarist crowd surfed playing guitar, and then they got up on the bar and they invite other people up on the bar. I got up on the bar. I was wearing the darkness costume at that show, and then at one point they have all the people in the crowd hold up each individual piece of the drum kit, and then they hold the drummer up in a chair, and he'll fucking play the drums while everybody's holding it up. And then they just light shit on fire. They light all their instruments on fire. They light their guitars on fire. They light their cymbals on fire. And they started... The one dude... They're not even playing at the end of the set. They hand off all their instruments to other people. And, the one dude handed me the guitar, and I'm, standing on the bar playing the guitar while they're just setting shit on fire and, running around. It is fucking chaos. It is one of the coolest fucking things I've ever seen. And they can only play a venue, twice. They played the Sinkhole twice before the fire marshal shut them down. They're like, yeah, you can't fucking do this anymore.
Set open flames.
That's probably why they're homeless. Keep buying new instruments.
Yeah, I was going to say, that sounds like an expensive hobby.
They should sell the lighter fluid. I'm just saying, I think they would make more money off that.
Do you think there's a lot of room in the market for different brands of lighter fluid? Who's the main lighter fluid brand?
What's the...
Duraflame?
Zippo, maybe?
Zippo. I think, it'd be Zippo.
Look up top lighter fluid. Anyway. Well, it sounds fun. Reminds me of last time when I was talking about butthole surfers, except for not as obnoxious. Well, a little obnoxious, but in a more fun way.
That's all the songs I got.
All right. Well, you know how it goes on this podcast. There's one thing you have to do. It's a long life. Life is not short. It's long. Okay? A lot of time, endless things you could do, endless things you could talk about, and there's a lot of moments to be assigned to whatever topics you might prefer. But I think right now, in this time on this podcast, we need to take some time for films. Time for Parasite, Midsommar, Jean-Luc Godard, Robert Eggers sucks. This is the time for films theme song. It's over. All right, we watched a downright profane production. Because of the poster, exclusively. It was a film titled Air, What If There Was None? I thought it was going to be about like 47 meters down type situation where it's like some people underwater and they're like fighting for their life. No, it's the opposite.
The movie was about what I thought it was going to be about, but I also didn't see the poster. I only knew the title, so I was like, oh, just like what if air stops being a thing? But then that's what it was. The movie happened, and I was like
the poster does a complete 180 than what actually is
they're in the water
happening.
for like 2 whole minutes in the film.
Opens on a scuba diver girl and her boyfriend. He dies.
Mysteriously.
Just dies. Just dies. He just dies.
They like dive in, and then he's dead, and she's like, "Oh no!"
Yeah.
No, this can't be happening. And that's it.
Just like that. Yeah, just like that.
No explanation at any point why
he's just dead. He's just dead.
Totally healthy guy dies in the water.
And then does it flash forward after that, or what?
Yeah.
I think that's the opening, and then there's credits, and
then it's the future.
Yeah.
And she's like had her kid. She was pregnant, so she had a kid, and then went back to go diving.
Yeah, so she comes up from the scuba, and there's no air anymore. All of a sudden.
It's gone.
Yeah, it's just gone.
It's just gone.
So she has to use her scuba gear to survive. Luckily, she has many tanks of air, of oxygen.
Well, she like went back to the store to steal them from there.
Oh, I wasn't paying enough attention. Because it didn't deserve it. The movie did not deserve it.
That is true.
I was trying desperately just to understand what the fuck was happening and why it was happening.
Well, then you probably like the scene at the end where they explained everything at length.
Nothing was actually explained.
Well, they tried. There was a guy talking for a really long time at the end of the movie.
Yeah, but he didn't actually like say anything significant. It was just like he offered some explanation on why the air wasn't breathable, which the title is misleading. There was air. There was just 4 times the bacteria, so it wasn't breathable. So they lied, for starters.
What if there was none?
What if there was
but wait, they're
the same
what if
amount?
It was there, but we put bacteria in it and you couldn't breathe it.
Sounds like a familiar situation.
No. Well, we beat COVID. In this, they
didn't.
It's
they didn't.
Like
they didn't.
Vaguely implied that it was a terrorism thing because the military is there.
The one guy?
Yeah, but it's never explained. It just kind of hints a little bit at it. She's like, is it a terrorist thing? And he's like, why would you say that? And then there's a military dude at this greenhouse, and she's like, why are you stationed here? He was like, I don't know.
The private with badges on him?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There was the guy at the end who was just, like, hanging out with her for a while, he had private marks. Like, he was a private in the army. But then also he had those, like, strips of colored squares that, like, generals have, with all the medals and shit. And it's just like, wait.
Steve, this is Casey.
Hi.
I want you to show her around while I make arrangements for her to leave.
Okay. Hop on.
But
he's a private general, dude.
Classic private general.
Who knew?
I think one of the most surreal parts of this was how many scenes there were where conversations took place where people had to breathe into a mask thing after every line. So they'd be like, it's really dangerous out here. It's a real problem. And then It would cut back to her. She's like, I know. And it was just the most aggravating way for a scene to take place.
I was impressed with how consistent they were with it. Because based on the effort that was put into the script and the movie in general, which was essentially nothing, I figured they would be like accidentally taking breaths and it wouldn't be very believable, but they were consistent with that.
Look, I think we can help each other.
Do you think people living in Denver or New Mexico can hold their breath longer than we can?
I don't know, kid.
Kid. Being older doesn't make you superior by default.
What are you talking about? I'm just trying to... Where did you get that?
Found it in a car. Cool, huh?
Look, are we gonna help each other or what?
Also, I really loved the amount of scenes of just her walking up to a car.
That was most of the
Checking it
movie.
out. It really was. Like, the whole middle part of it was just her walking up to cars.
Most cars didn't work.
Yeah.
Apparently,
But hers was electric.
Yeah.
So it worked.
So it worked.
But also, guns worked. Except for when they didn't. So...
What we're saying here is A+ film.
Highly recommend. Why it's not in festivals? No clue.
No idea. I know
Great
some films that can't get
emphasis.
into film festivals, and yet, error. What if there was none? Widely distributed film.
Loved the enthusiasm that the script was read by every actor. Very
As they were
good.
breathing in.
Yeah.
So it's
Just the most bland lines, and then it's like, she finds her dead child, and she's like, oh.
Oh no.
And then walks away.
Mark is dead.
Damn shame.
Oh my god,
It's so
my
sad.
kid.
It's sad. I am sad now.
So yeah, that's like a light one for me.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking awful. Kind of mad that I watched it.
How long is it?
Way too long.
It's like
Probably
an hour.
and a half, maybe.
I was
I don't even
hour.
think it's
I'd say an
that
hour
long.
and 10. I thought.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
It was quick, but it felt long.
Classic poster.
Poster is
Absolutely horrid film.
Poster is like a 5.
I know.
Honestly.
I did look up that actress, and that is the only thing she's ever done.
Yeah, of course.
Probably.
It's usually how it goes.
When you read, when you say your lines like you're reading off a textbook, I think that.
Oh my god, my boyfriend's dead.
Wake,
Oh no.
yeah. Wake up.
Please, no.
Jesus. And Josh and I also watched. I guess you and I we watched 2 Steven Seagal movies. We
Yeah.
watched Out for Justice and Under Siege 2 Dark Territory. Which
We really
The
didn't watch
titles
that.
are just.
well, he has a lot of films that have the classic 3-word format. He's got Out for Justice, Hard to Kill, On Deadly Ground, Above the Law. Anyway, you can look it up. You'll figure it out.
Super duper lethal.
Wow, it's lethal.
Ooh, wow. That's
Wow, it's lethal. Check out that.
That would be
one.
a sick title. I don't remember a lot of Out for Justice other than the bad guy was...
Mustache
Yeah,
is messed up.
the bad guy in Out for Justice had a mustache where it was shaved unevenly on the sides. So, like, on this side, it just went down to here, and on this one, it went, like, all the way down here. And it was really a problem. It was like...
I also remember the deli scene where I think he punched 3 guys in the dick. Maybe I think it was twice actually.
He really does be punching people in the dick.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit like...
You're not supposed to do that.
It's not cool. You
No.
know, it's like you can be an action hero. Like, Van Damme kicks people. That's cool. Seagal hits people in the dick. He disarms them and hits them in the dick.
Yeah, it's one thing if it's like a scene where clearly it's the hero and they're at a disadvantage because it's like a really, really big bad guy and they kick him in the balls, you know, that classic bit.
Yeah.
But if you're a karate master, you can just go around kicking people in the dick, dude.
He's a master of disarming karate. That's what apparently Aikido is he can disarm people with swords really well. Now, I'm not going to say that an early 90s Seagal would not beat the shit out of me. He probably would. But I could totally take him now.
You think?
2020 Seagal?
You think?
Have you seen him?
Yeah, he doesn't look great.
He looks like a burger.
So Steven Seagal fight me. Anyway.
There's also the part, too, where the prostitute comes up to the side of his car and is
oh my God.
You want to fuck? And he's like, and he drives off. And then he pulls up 10 feet, and then there's a couple of guys like, hey, man. He's like, you guys want to hear something? Yeah, man, what you got? Ha, ha. And he drives off again.
Yeah, it's the same shot.
Oh my God! Did you hear what she said?
What'd you say, my man? What'd you say?
Angie, I'm coming down Sunset Park on 3rd Avenue, Richie.
Yells out to these other guys, hey, you know what she just said to me? And the guy goes, what? What'd she say? And he's like, and he just drives away. Like, what the hell?
That's the best bit of
Yeah,
that.
it was good. The one I watched last night was called Hard to Kill, in which he lived up to the title because in the opening scene, some gangsters come and they shoot up his house and kill his wife. It's actually not a lot unlike Darkness on the Edge of Town. They come and they kill his wife, but he's put into a coma. Just somehow. They shoot up the place with guns. I don't know, but he's in a coma. So anyway, he goes into a coma, and it's like 7 years later. Apparently also nobody knew he was in a coma. They all thought he was dead. 7 years later, he's in a coma department at the hospital.
Like a Lowe's?
The coma department.
Yeah, the coma
It's
department.
the coma department over there.
Can we get some help? Can we get some help in the coma department?
Yeah. He's just got crudely pasted on facial hair that he would have grown in the coma. Like, not even like a lot, just like Jesus length. You know, just like a goatee that's a little bit thicker, and his hair is like down to here now. The nurse is like all over him, like she's in love with him, despite him being in a coma. It's like in Kill Bill.
I love when you're in a coma.
Yeah, she's like in love with him, and he wakes up, and for like the next half hour of the movie, he's like disabled from the like pelvis down. So like he's just like in like his hospital bed, squeaking around the hallways. They've found out that he's awake, and they send guys to go kill him, but he's just like in a hospital bed, like getting into an elevator, like hitting the button and stuff. Wild. And then he finds him and gets revenge. But the crazy part was that he was like seriously not cool for the majority of this movie. He was just a bearded man in a hospital. Terrible, terrible man, Steven Seagal. Bad movies, bad guy. God. I wish.
Cop.
I mean, was he actually a cop at some
He
point?
is actively a cop, yes.
Where?
Louisiana, I think, actually.
How can he be
There
doing
is
that while he's
this,
making movies?
this is the Tom Segura bit. He said there is a real... Think about this. He's like, I've lost sleep over this. There is a real-world possibility that you could go tonight to Louisiana, get pulled over by Steven Seagal.
This is, like, hard for me to wrap my head around. You're right. So, let me look this up.
And here's what's even... He goes on to say that he trains other police officers in hand-to-hand combat.
Disarming.
Yeah. Imagine this man next to you in your fucking car. So why did I pull over you tonight? Sorry?
Why do you think I pulled you over tonight? Yeah, well, you're gonna be going to jail pretty soon.
Yeah, that's
But
like...
not before I punch you in the dick.
Get out of the car. No reason.
It's a lot. It's kind of a Trump voice a little bit.
It's
like Trump as an action star.
Karate Trump.
He is kind of the Trump of action movie stars. Because all the sexual harassment. Trying to find evidence. Also, discography. He did release 2 albums.
Oh boy,
The first
Little Joe sure can sing.
The first one's called "Songs from the Crystal Cave," which sounds nuts.
Sounds like.
Scars, play a clip.
Sang with me, we can fill the world with harmony. If you dance with me.
Oh, he was in a TV show called Steven Seagal Lawman, which depicted him performing his duties as a reserve deputy sheriff.
Yeah.
Which was on A&E for 2 seasons, and then Reels, whatever that is, in Jefferson Parish, Louisiana in season 1 and 2, and then Maricopa County, Arizona in season 3. So he was a deputy sheriff in several places. Why was that allowed to happen?
It's probably like Cops, but shitty.
Yeah.
That's basically that's what Tom Segura says in the thing. He's like, he's super unlikable. He's just the worst person. And also he's a cop.
Crazy. Cops was canceled this week, also, the show. Also, Cops, the concept, was canceled this week.
Real Cops were canceled.
We have fun here. I want to watch the Seagal show. I just decided I want to watch it. I'm so mad that I do. I am so mad at myself that I do.
But then you won't be once you actually do.
It's probably like, I just want to hear him pull somebody over and be like, you know how fast you were going?
Yeah. Get out of the car.
I'm going to punch you in the dick.
Do you hear what you just said to me?
Do you know why I pulled you over?
Wow. All right. He's got a lot of movies, and, I watched every movie that Jean-Claude Van Damme was in. No intentions of doing that with Seagal. I'm sure I would lose brain cells in a major way. I am pretty close to finishing Stallone, and then Schwarzenegger, and Dolph Lundgren is going to be tough, because he went the Seagal route on the, Red Box Originals type films,
Ooh.
But I'm excited to watch all those horrible movies and talk about it on Time for Films. All right. Maddie, what'd you watch?
I watched The King of Staten Island, and it was not great. So, it was, you can watch the trailer and probably get what you need to out of it, to be honest. I think they could have shaved a good hour off, and it would have been fine. But it was a 2-hour and 15-minute film. And, the climax of it doesn't really happen till, the very end. And there's just a lot of additional things that could have not happened.
Yeah.
It was moderately funny. I don't know. I had high expectations going in, I guess. Solid maybe 2. Maybe.
Damn, you hated it. Damn.
It just wasn't what I was expecting. It was way too long. That really took away from, the quirky humor and all the cool stuff going on.
Was there a lot of cameos or a lot of famous people in it?
Dude, I don't know famous people.
Well.
Bill Burr was in it, and...
Oh, yeah, he's a firefighter, right?
Yeah, and then there's that guy...
Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, he's also in there.
Who was actually a firefighter.
Now we know.
Reprising his role.
Wow, a lot of actors went into first responder type stuff. Seagal, Lawman, Buscemi, fire...
Well, Buscemi was
TV show idea. Buscemi, fireman on A&E. Reality show following Steve Buscemi today. Old Buscemi going around putting out fires.
He only carries the fire hose. Only him.
I'm pretty sure he was a first responder at 9/11.
Buscemi?
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about...
You can fact check that, but I'm pretty sure that's a thing. He's an actual hero.
He was in Spy Kids. That makes me...
That was true. He was in Spy Kids 2, Island of Lost Dreams.
Yeah.
As a first responder.
As a first responder to the creatures on the island.
To the fingerhead guys.
Shout out to the skeletons in Spy Kids 2. I always remember thinking, in a movie that skeletons were, the least scary thing. And that
Until
movie,
Skeleton
well,
Man.
until I saw Skeleton Man, and I realized they were most badass.
Dude, You don't want to fight that skeleton.
But yeah, there's some skeletons in that movie, and they're all CGI. It's really embarrassing.
Yeah.
That's the thing with Judd Apatow's movies, like Funny People with Adam Sandler. You would really hate that.
Yes.
That's like 2.5 hours long. You got like Knocked Up is over 2 hours, I think. 40-Year-Old Virgin, there's an unrated cut that's like 2.5 hours.
That's unnecessary.
That's just his thing. I don't like he
the
just
movie
does
could
that.
have been an hour and a half, and it would have been just fine.
I say that about most movies. Most movies could be an hour and a half. Like I think that's the ideal time.
I'm not even that picky about like longer movies. That's okay, but it was just nothing was really happening. They were just like, we could do a funny bit maybe somewhere in here, so we'll put in another like 10-minute scene, and maybe you'll giggle or something.
We started to watch. I was with Springerly earlier in the week, and he was watching Da 5 Bloods, and they were already like an hour and 43 minutes in. And then we looked up the time. We were trying to.
It's a long one. It's like 2 hours 15.
Yeah, and he didn't realize. He was like getting ready for bed. And he's like, "How much is left in this? An hour 15?" And then just didn't. I came in late, so like I wasn't trying to watch the whole thing anyway because I'm like, I don't want to start this halfway and then see the end of the movie. That's dumb. But yes, movies are long.
Yeah. Why do you
Now.
I
Still
also-
haven't watched The Irishman.
I also started watching Let's Talk About Kevin, I think, something like that.
That's a good one.
Fell asleep like 3/4 of the way through.
Oh, you didn't miss anything. Nothing happens.
Oh, nothing
Nothing happens.
Nothing weird.
Nothing weird.
Great.
Nothing
I
serious.
just won't finish it then. I did like what I saw of it, and I intend to finish it.
That's a dark one.
There's a lot
It's
going
not.
on.
At the end, ice cream. They
Oh, good.
all have
And
ice cream.
rainbows and ice cream.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Huh. I should watch that.
Yeah. The Five Bloods
happy
is
movie.
like The Five Bloods and King of Staten Island are the two I really wanted to watch this week. I just need to like have the time to watch them.
Right.
They're both long, as we've just discussed, but also I don't like. I just like been doing a lot of stuff, so it's like hard.
Yeah, also fucking towards the end of quarantine here, I'm like totally over the
Movied
staying
out.
inside movies and video games shit. Like
Yeah.
I need to be active.
You know what'll help you love movies again? Steven Seagal.
Probably.
films. Yeah.
I think you're right.
We'll
get him on the podcast next week.
To fight me.
Oh yeah.
Special UFC event. Seagal versus Stewart. Next week on the Triplefour podcast.
You heard it. I don't have anything else, so stay tuned for Seagal Fest 2020. Episode 50 will be the next one.
Yes.
Perfect time to fight
Assuming-
Steven Seagal.
Right. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.
You know what?